Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Todoist Office Hours. I'm Chase Warrington. I'm the head of business development here at Doist, the team behind Todoist. And today I'm really excited to be shifting the focus of Todoist Office Hours to more of a team setting. And I've got with me one of our awesome Todoist ambassadors, Péter, I'm going to let him introduce himself, but he is a sort of specialist in the team aspect of Todoist collaboration, working in Todoist not just as a personal productivity tool, but also in the context of working with coworkers, organizations, things like this. So I'm going to let Péter kick it off from here, let him introduce himself, and then he's going to share with you guys some really useful information about how you can do the same with your teams and your clients and customers. One thing I want to say real quick is if you have questions and you're watching this on Crowdcast, feel free to drop those questions in the chat or in the Ask a Question function at the bottom of the screen. I can field those at the end. We'll try to build in about 10 or 15 minutes of Q&A at the end for Péter. So drop those questions in and we'll get to them. And in the meantime, Péter, please give yourself a little introduction. Let everybody know who you are and what you guys do.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Péter, and I'm the CEO of our digital marketing agency. And also, I'm a certified GTD trainer. So the way I started to use Todoist was my personal need to be a bit more productive. And since then, I started to train people how to use Todoist for personal usage, how to use Todoist for business usage within teams, and how to use Todoist with the aspect of GTD. So that's why I'm here. That's how I got here.
Can you elaborate on GTD just a little bit for anybody that might not be familiar with that term?
Sure. GTD is getting things done. It's a productivity and time management methodology from David Allen. And basically, it helps people and companies in the same way to be productive and not to run after tasks, not to run after due dates, and just do things in the time when it needs to be done without the stress of time. And that's why I started to do it, because I usually make my things in a way that I accept more tasks than it's possible to be done. And that's why I turned to GTD, because it helped me to manage my time, to help me estimate the amount of work I can do within a day.
Yeah, and and GTD is sort of one of those like holy grails of productivity that a lot of people follow.
Yeah, I think I tried almost everything it can be tried from the methodology aspect. So I've used the Eisenhower matrix, and many other things. And at the end of the day, I always turn back to GTD, and also I tried many tools that would be perfect for me. And at the end of the day, I always turn back to Todoist because it fits my needs.
Yeah, it was actually in a lot of the commonalities found in the GTD method. You'll see once you learn GTD, you'll see that they're baked into the infrastructure of Todoist in a lot of the ways that a lot of the features that we offer. It was definitely in mind during the building of the product. So, would you say GTD is generally geared towards organizations or individuals, or applicable to both? What's your thoughts there?
It's applicable to both. Personally, I think GTD works the best way to use as a person. But if I do all of my tasks perfectly and in time and without any stress, it would be a benefit for the team itself. And in time, if a company starts to use GTD in a company level, everything starts to change. So for example, we are training companies with more than thousands of people within small groups, and I see the change within the company's behavior in time when not just 20 people using GTD instead of 200, and the communication, the emailing, the task acceptance, the project planning changes within time. So it's perfectly okay to use GTD on a company level, but that needs a common understanding and acceptance of the new way of thinking.
Interesting. So do you feel like it takes a sort of top-down approach
to accept the methodology for the whole company? It always comes from the bottom, because if a team starts to use a better way to communicate and do their tasks at a small group level, they start to be different from the others in productivity and time management, and that shows the benefits, and then it starts to spread within the company. So the actual personal level acceptance is always starts from the bottom, but to start to work with the teams, it's as simple as that we have to sell the product and the methodology for the top level management.
It's like the land and expand model. It gets it, and then it spreads like wildfire once it starts working.
My experience is that from the first training, we will have our small guerrilla team within the company that they will spread the good news about the GTD methodology, and they are our agent that do the rest of the work.
That sounds pretty exciting stuff. So let's switch it a little bit from just GTD to the actual implementation of Todoist, because I think both are, obviously we're here to talk about Todoist, but it's really good to set the framework of GTD, since it's core to what you're training on. And I think what we want to focus on today is really whether you're implementing GTD or not. That's not really the most important part. What Peter wants to do is show you how you can best onboard teams in a more than singular environment, where it's easy to onboard yourself when you're in charge of yourself, but when you're onboarding teams, there's a lot of dependencies, and Peter's figured out how to do this as good as anybody. So I'll turn it over to you, Peter, if you want to take it from there and show people your magic.
Okay. The good news is that there's no magic. It's easy to do. From my perspective, the onboarding process, not just for Todoist, not just into Todoist, but for a new colleague to onboard into everything we are doing within the company, can be used via a template. Was born because of you, because a year ago I found that you have a template about onboarding to Todoist, the program itself, and that was the first time I was thinking about how to modify that template to fit our needs, and how can we use that to onboard my people to any other stuff. For example, I would like to show two templates that we are using now to onboard people, how to work within the company itself, and it's managed within Todoist. Just a second.
I'll just, while you're bringing that up, Peter, I'll just let everybody know you can go to todoist.com/templates. I just dropped the URL in the chat. But this is a really awesome page filled with templates that you can import into your Todoist. And so one of those templates is what Peter's showing you. It basically creates a project for you already pre-used, so that you can reuse these. And of course you can edit them once they're in your Todoist. So just a little bit of context there. I'll turn it back over to you, Peter.
Okay. And don't be afraid, just to hold a bit with the templates. Don't be afraid if it's not fitting your needs. All the templates within that page is a good starting point. That guys at Todoist did the hard work part, that they've created the template that can be imported. And for example, what we are using at the moment was born from the onboarding workflow template, I think that you have where it says. Oh, this is the onboarding template to Todoist. For example, that was the first I've imported to our account, and the only thing I'm doing that I've changed stuff and I've created my own templates for the new colleagues. And every time we have a new person within the company, I'm just simply copying it, adding it a name that who will work with this template and share this project with him. And it's super easy to do. So I'm currently holding all of our templates within Todoist. So I simply have to copy and paste the URL and import the project to create a new one. Basically, the two templates I would like to show is a company onboarding template that I've doing together with my people. So there are tasks for myself, and there are tasks for the new guy as well. And it was important to me to have a shared project because they will see how I use Todoist, how I check my tasks, and they start to use as well because they need, because that's the way I can track their work. But I wanted to have a shared project with every single person we have within the team to inspire them that it's an easy to use stuff. And that's the main thing we are sticking to Doist for a very long time, that if someone is really dumb in digital, they also can use Todoist. It's super simple. It works like a charm on mobile, on desktop. So nothing is missing, and nothing and no other stuff that is not needed. So that's our first template. For example, if someone gets into the system, I have some common tasks that share invites to Todoist, to Twist, to Notion, to the password manager, and any other stuff that I have to do to them to get onboarded and have the access to all platforms we are actually using, and even to generate the email address for the new one. Then then give out the first business tasks to him to start feeling how we are working. That usually means that I'm sharing one of our projects with him to have a live project within their account, and then these are their tasks to start the training. We have a lot of info stored online, training materials, even Udemy trainings that I want everybody within the company to do to get on the same page. That's, for example, why I'm using GTD within our company, because if everybody uses it, we are always talking the same way. And sometimes naming a task is weird for someone who's not using GTD. So that's the onboarding one, and we have a training template, and these are links to actual trainings to HubSpot and and a few other SEO-based training for the SEO guys who are onboarding to the company. And for example, there's a bit difference within these two guys, because one of them is actually ticking all the tasks, and I see that where is he within the training process. And the other one called me via phone that she don't want to tick them off because she wants to relearn from time to time all of the courses. So it's a reference for her, for example. And I'm okay with it. So it's comfy for her. And the other guy is ticking off, so I can track the process of him. This is the two type of templates. We are always using one template for everybody who is new to the company, and one template for anybody who will work as an SEO manager within the company of us. And plus one Next to the templates, I'm always start with a live session with the guys we are hiring to onboard them to Todoist, and we are talking about my needs, their options, and the possibilities to make Todoist their own. So no hard rules. I think that's really important because we don't have an office. For example, everybody works from home, and if I would state hard rules that stuff can be done only one way, it wouldn't fit for everybody because we are not in the same place. They have different working routines. For example, I have a colleague that I don't know how she do that, but she always gets up around 4 a.m. Actually start to work at 4 a.m. and finish their daily work around 1 p.m. So
we have a colleague here, Peter, that does the same, but the opposite. He starts work around 11 p.m. and works to like 5, 6 a.m. And that's his routine, and he functions very well like this.
Yeah, I can understand that it's really calm. I had a time when I had some nice night sessions when my second daughter was born, and my wife had some tough days. So I was waiting for the little one to go to sleep, and during that time I was working around 3 or 4 hours every day in late night. So I can understand that it's a really good thing. But at the moment within our team, my team, at the time I'm arriving to do my daily tasks, I have at least 4 things to check because that team member already was working for 4 hours. So it fits my daily routine, and it's good for her. So and that was the most important part, because I think hard rules would ruin the love for Todoist within the team, because they have other needs. I'm naming my tasks in a way of GTD. They don't do. I think it would be better if they would do, but they don't do.
But it doesn't force them to.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. So that's how should I say, that thing that Todoist can bring to my team, that flexibility, was the key that it made working for the whole team. The templates are a key part, how to start to work, and the most important, that these are not templates just for how to use Todoist. These are templates how to be the part of the whole team, and the other template is a key to be ready to work at a level that we want to see from any SEO manager, for example. And the deal is that no force, but I take all of these trainings and courses as done, and I take that they know everything within these courses. So it's their responsibility that they really do the training. I will know if they don't.
Yeah, you'll see it reflected in the work. So you don't necessarily need to be in the project. The point is not to be monitoring them in the project. You assume that their work's going to be done.
Yeah. This year, I think, thought many companies, but the most important thing, how to handle a team. But for us, it wasn't kind of big change, because we were working from the beginning anywhere from home office. So I think the most important part to use Todoist, even if it has the tracking option, is trust. But I trust them, and I don't micromanaging their work and their daily job.
I was going to ask that. So this is an important point, because as you said, a lot of people are currently working in sort of this new normal, this new way of working. Not everybody was set up to be remote like your team or like my team. So people are defaulting to looking for tools that are made to track employee productivity and time, hours, calls, things like this. And I can truly say Todoist was not built for that. Not that you couldn't use it for that. I mean, you can share projects with your direct reports and make sure that they're checking off the tasks by peering in and getting notifications when they check things off. But this is not the intent with Todoist. It is built to provide the environment for people to be productive and get things done. And we default to trust at Doist. So we did not build that into the product. So I think it's an important distinguishment to make. Like it's not really designed for that. Having said that, I do know some teams that use it that way, and they really do keep track of what people are trying to accomplish and what they're doing on a daily basis. So it has some functionality for both, I guess.
Yeah. When I started to use Todoist, for example, I was trying to track myself. So I'm the most badass judge of myself because I'm a bit maximalist, I think, and I was tracking my own progress. So the system itself has a tracking that who finished how many tasks on what day. So Todoist offers the option to track tasks by numbers. But for example, if you're thinking about different people and different working methods, my favorite example is that I think there are two kind of people, sprinters and marathonists. A sprinter works deeply for 20 minutes. They need tasks for 20 minutes. And the marathonist will go deep in work for 3 hours, and I have to pull them to eat or drink or just go outside and have some fresh air. And they will need tasks for a 2-hour session. So by numbers, that won't be the same, but in efficiency, at the end of the day, it will be the same. But the marathonist will accomplish one task, and the sprinter will accomplish 10 or 8. So that's why tracking tasks, just to track the number of tasks they've done, is a good thing, and Todoist offers the platform for it, and it's a good thing. But that's not the point. For example, I'm kind of marathonist, so I have a larger chunk of tasks for myself because I'm really happy to tick one task off. I was always tracking my karma level during the last 4 years, so I wanted to achieve new levels within that stuff. I think that's a great thing to that you've brought some gamification, but it's not the point to achieve it faster because I was working for 2 hours and ticking 5 tasks off at once. It would make me more work to put the 5 tasks within the system and ticking them off. But for example, if you are really want to track your colleagues, you have the options because Todoist is really easy to integrate to any other stuff. For example, I have had an integration to a Google spreadsheet, and every completed task was transferred there by date, by the task name, and I have, I don't know, a 2,000 lines spreadsheet before I turned that off. I couldn't see the end of the line because my browser broke trying to load them.
Are there any other business-friendly integration, team organizational friendly integrations you'd suggest people consider trying, or any that have been successful for you or your clients?
Integrations. I think integrating Todoist into any content management system you are using is a benefit, even for a company like us, because we are writing content on a daily basis. So we are writing 10 or so blog posts a day.
Wow.
So we have to be able to switch quickly between the tasks. So integration with the content management system is a must. Or someone who works, for example, in sales, or someone who has dozens of meetings, is a good way to integrate Todoist with Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite, for example.
Yeah.
Since the integration is launched for myself, I've stopped using my calendar, because all of my meetings are within my today tasks. I've added a project for the meetings to be within the other tasks, but I'm always starting my day to check my daily routine, which is from my calendar, but I'm simply checking Todoist to see my daily routine, and that's a good thing. One application less to check every day, and that means time for me.
For me as well, I have a lot of meetings in my role at Doist, and so the Google Calendar integration is very very powerful for me. And I think the key takeaway is to, maybe if you're onboarding a team, to explore our integrations ecosystem, which is growing rapidly actually right now. But we have a page dedicated to this, todoist.com/integrations. And look at some of the tools that you use a lot. Google Calendar is a good one. There's a Gmail extension. There's a lot. I mean, there's just a lot that you can do if you're using a CRM and you're in sales. But like for me, for instance, with Google Calendar, I have it integrated with GCal, and I can when I add events to my calendar, they show up as tasks with a time on my Todoist. Vice versa, if I add a Todoist task to my meeting project, it will show up on my calendar and block off that time. So there's a lot you can do with the integrations in the organizational aspect. And the key thing you might be able to do is you don't have to pick one for your whole team. You can share this page with your team, and individuals can choose the integrations that work best for them.
Yeah, actually, two things just to see that how it really works. For example, this call was a calendar event, and I have it here right there, and it was good to see that I have some time stuff to do today, and when we will finish, I will have only these two tasks for today. Inbox 0 is my I don't know hero task for every day, so I have to do that. My bottom point of my life was for example, when around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I was cleaning my emails off to send them directly to Todoist. For example, that's the thing that we have to talk about, because as a GTDist and a GTD trainer, it's really important to me that emails are not tasks. Emails are just informations that might grow to be a task. So every time I have something to do with my email, I just simply be able to choose between two things. I simply email them to my inbox and then archive. Or I have a Zapier integration, for example, which is really cool also, that if I'm pinning an email, it will appear on my to-do list that I have something to do with an email. And the task with an email can be only a thing that I have to think about that email, that is it a task or not. But my email inbox is always empty, because there's no need to hold emails there, and that's a good thing. For example, with GTD, that's a good thought.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity for myself how to send tasks from email to Todoist, And one thing I have to say about, for example, the Outlook integration, just like the Gmail, is a really cool thing, that I'm able to simply drag an email to the Todoist integration within Outlook, and I have the task. Super easy.
Yeah, these are business organizational friendly features, kind of ancillary to the core product, but that when we started wanting to be able to provide Todoist for teams and organizations and not just for individuals, these were some of the key changes we had to make, and they're widely very, very popular. Peter, I was going to ask you, is there any particular challenges or concerns that you see, like for Todoist in and out, and GTD in and out, and some of the people watching here are team leaders. Maybe they know Todoist very well. They're advocating for Todoist, but perhaps the people they're onboarding don't have a desire to use Todoist, or are coming from another tool, or always used pen and paper for to-do tasks. Do you have any advice for kind of getting people over that hump, getting your team on board?
For example, that's a question. It's really common. For example, on a GTD training, it has a common sense that how to use a new tool and how to think differently. I always ask everybody who starts using Todoist, not within my team, anybody who comes to training I'm holding about how to use Todoist, for example, or just simply buy the training within the page. Just give it a try. Use it for 2 weeks, not for months, not for years. Just give it a try. Use it for 2 weeks. I'm here to every single people or person who learned how to use Todoist from me, and I will be there for everybody within that 2 weeks. But I'm really sure that if they really use Todoist and they really use GTD, that's the common thing. They will accept the features, the functions, the good things that it brings to their lives. If they love another tool, it's okay. But I think around 80% there are common things within every single productivity tool, every single task management tool, and that extra 20% is the one why I choose Todoist. So just give it a try, and if there are advocates within the company, be sure that they will be there, that there is somebody who answers the questions. It's super easy to use Todoist. It's not a problem, but if someone has a problem, that there should be someone to be able to answer their questions. For example, I love to use the predictive features of adding a task, but that's not a common thing that everybody starts to use from the first day. But I think for me, that was the point when I felt that I will use Todoist. Because the main thing for a productivity trainer, that I cannot teach anybody to make their task faster, because there are limits. So I can't hit I don't know 5,000 characters within a minute, but I'm a good copywriter, but I have limits, physical limits. We are able to win time between tasks. And that's the point where a productivity methodology can help. I don't need to search. I don't need to spend time adding a task, because it's always in front of me, and I need 3 seconds to add the task with the due date, with the label, with the with the project, and with an assignee. 3 seconds, because Todoist helps me adding the task.
Yeah, this could be something if you're trying to convince your team to go to Todoist, if you're kind of having to sell people, showcasing the predictive capabilities, or and how quickly you can turn a thought into a task, and and create that transparency between teammates is super powerful. I think it's the feedback that we get from successful teams.
Within a training, I always sell the stuff. For example, that I'm starting to add tasks in a normal way. I'm typing, and hit enter, and then just a little break. Then I'm showing how to add tasks in a different way. Then within 3 seconds, and then everybody stops breathing because they can't follow the process. So that's the magic that I can show the slow way and the Todoist way how to add tasks.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing. Everybody loves the thing that they don't need to spend enormous amounts of time by administrating their work, and that's an important thing. The other stuff is important. For example, to show someone who is not using Todoist is to share projects with them. Just show that you are using. Give a proof that you are using Todoist, and let them see that you are productive and you are taking off tasks on a daily basis. The good example is always good.
How to have some structure too, like how do you, they'll see, oh, you can use subtasks, you can use sections to separate things, you can see how repeating tasks are set up. I mean, viewing somebody else's successful account has huge benefits. So yeah, sharing projects and just inviting somebody into a project just to say, hey, just watch, basically take part in the project, view it, be a collaborator, but maybe you don't even have to do anything, can be a good little tactic early on.
Exactly. For example, within our team we have different type of people, and for example, my assistant has repetitive tasks every single month, and the way we've set up the common project between us with tasks that are immediately timing to the other month, to the other week, and she don't have to add any single task never from me to assist me, because we have everything we need to work together. It's a good thing that she don't have to add tasks to be my assistant.
It's amazing. It's already all set up.
And I don't have to add also, because we have set up the system that it's full with repeating tasks.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I was thinking this, and somebody asked this as well, but I saw it, and I think it's a GTD thing, but you don't really have deadlines
No.
on your tasks. So you don't use dates, correct?
I'm running a digital marketing agency, so we have always due dates. For example, we have Thursday today, and we have due dates to Wednesday. So that's the common thing, that we are always late because the clients always wants things faster than it's possible, or before they told us that what should we do. We have always some time tasks to solve their needs, but that's the most powerful thing within GTD, that if I fill my day with timed tasks and due dates, I will have zero flexibility to choose. And if I cannot choose the task I want to do, is killing creativity and draining my energy. So with GTD, we are always thinking about another layer of my life, of our lives. For example, I'm here with you. I have my laptop. I have my phone. I could choose anything. But I have labels. For example, when I'm driving, I could read emails, but as soon as I don't have my self-driving Tesla, I won't do that. So the most impact with GTD was within my driving time, because I have a label for phone calls, and that's the only thing I can do for work during while I'm driving. And if I don't want to work, I always have a list with a label for podcast sessions that I can listen during that time. So I'm meaningfully engaged during driving, and with work or not with work, it's not another thing. So due dates are needed just when I really need something to do in a specific time. On the other hand, I have priorities set up within Todoist. So I have priorities, I have areas of interest and places where actually I am, and that determines the amount of tasks that I can do. For example, I think I have 600 tasks within Todoist at the moment. And
Wow.
and that's normal, and that's normal. Yeah. That's the average. I have tasks to clean the garage. I have a task to create the perfect presentation for a conference we will have next month, within the same place. But when I'm home, and it was a hard thing to define home when I'm always home. But when I'm home, I'm thinking about the garage cleaning project, and I don't want to see the other tasks I have. So I'm using the today view and the upcoming view of Todoist because that's the things I have to do today. But after that, I'm always using the layers, the labels. For example, I have the computer because I have the computer in front of me, or I have a layer, for example, thinking. And when I'm outside of the in the garden, and I just have to see that my kids are alive and they don't destroy each other or anything, I have time to think about stuff that simply needs to be thinking. So
cool.
That's why I love GTD.
I think this is like a good thing to point out too. Is I imagine you're not necessarily building that when you're onboarding a teammate, you're not necessarily giving them that same framework. You might show them what you do, but you're not requiring that your whole team work the same way that you work.
Yeah. Well, I am using GTD as a person, and I'm training GTD, so I'm really in this stuff. But it's a unique thing that to be a GTD trainer.
Yeah.
Not that way that I'm unique. Just we have 4 trainers within the country at the moment, so that's unique this way. And I'm not expecting this stuff from the guys I have. Everybody within the team is warmly welcome to attend to a GTD training, and I love to train them how I manage my life, not my work. My entire life, and if they like it, they can start it and can help them how to start using GTD within Todoist, but I'm not forcing them to do so.
I think it's a key successful trait that I've seen in teams that onboard successfully to Todoist is that you do allow that flexibility. You maybe build a bit of an infrastructure as to how you want your team to look. Are you going to use the team inbox for some things? Are you going to always invite everybody to certain projects and keep others very small? Are you going to use certain integrations team wide, like if you're on Slack or Twist or Microsoft Teams and we're going to definitely have the Todoist integration, but aside from that, you let people work the way they want to work. You can try to nudge them in a certain direction, but give people the flexibility to make it work for them, and don't try to be too rigid.
Yeah, and for example, the other thing we were talking about for today is how to manage a team, and that was the most important part of sharing stuff within Todoist, because we were trying at the beginning many other stuff, programs and platforms. I'm using many other platforms because of our clients, because they are deeply within the Microsoft infrastructure, or they are using other productivity tools and I have to use them. I have 12 email accounts, for example, because every client shares an account with me that I can access the internal database. So I have stuff spread around the web. And for example, if I'm able to integrate them, just simply transfer tasks to my Todoist inbox is a good thing for me. And the thing I like while we are collaborating with my team and with anybody who is outside the team but have to see the task, for example, the developer team who is not fully integrated, but we have really close partners for web development, and I'm sharing projects with them, but nothing more that they have to see. And that data protection and that information protection is really important. There are other stuff that I can share an entire workplace or workspace, or you can call it anything, with everybody, and no separation. And that's not a good thing, because I have around 70 projects at the moment around.
Yeah.
Each of our teammates would need to see 10 or 12. Why should they see my 70 project? Because they only have to work with 10.
Yeah. Keep those separate.
And I can share every single project one by one with the team I want to share. And that's the really cool thing, that they can see that I can I am flexible enough to set up new project, to change the team between project or within a project itself. I can set up the project structure for myself, and that won't be the same for the other part of the team. I set up projects, for example, I have the higher level project for a company. I have a project for my personal thing. I have a project for my bucket list, and for my monthly tasks that I have to do every single month, and I hate that. Paying bills and such things. But I have to do that, and I don't want to see them, even myself. I don't want to see them just the time I have to do them. So a repeated task and a hidden project. So I don't have to see even the project name itself before I have to use anything within that project. And that's true for the team.
Yeah. I think I notice a lot of people trying to onboard a team, they feel like maybe they need two accounts, like one for business and one for work. They're worried about people, or one for personal life, and one for work life. And I think something that can be leveraged is the use of projects or labels to separate your work from your life in the same account, and show people that this isn't just a tool for work, but it can help them in their personal life as well. So that's a good point.
That's a common question. For example, when I'm holding a training, that how should they do, and they expect the answer from me. But to be honest, the answer is that choose the one that fits your needs. So Todoist can handle a whole life just for me, and I show my life to the trainees. But if they are not comfy with that, it's an option to start using Todoist with only the work stuff. In time, they will add the shopping list as well. But just give them time. So just have to use the business stuff. I'm always saying that they will onboard themselves and will be comfy sooner if they use Todoist for everything, because they will use Todoist much more. But if they don't want, just start with the business stuff.
Great advice. That's great advice. I think it's a good point to wrap this up on. It's very simple and easy. Just give people the tool, let them use it, show them that they can use it how they want, and give a little bit of structure, and it can turn out nicely. Peter, thank you. This is super, super helpful. Do you have any other last comments you want to make on Todoist? And if either way, please also share some information on where people can find you, follow you, reach out to you if they're interested in collaborating or anything like that?
Oh, okay. Last thoughts that always handle Todoist as a tool to help you out. So it's not a must to use it for everything. It's a tool that is easy to use to help you out within every single day, even if you have to plan a project for the next 2 years and make money and make business and be famous, or even just to plan your daughter's birthday party. So it's flexible and it fits teams in a way a team needs to be use any productivity tool.
Perfect. Thank you. And he's dropped his LinkedIn information there in the chat, so you can follow Peter's work there, connect with him if needed. He's one of our Todoist ambassadors, and this was really fun. I appreciate it. It was nice to talk a little bit of organizational structure and hear from you how you do things. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We'll have to do another one where we go deep on GTD, I think, because that'll be interesting as well. We got to touch by it a little bit today, but that could be interesting.
Oh, I'm here. I am here to talk about that. That's my second love.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, guys. If you're watching this, whether it be on YouTube or here on Crowdcast, we will have this live, or I'm sorry, on the YouTube channel in perpetuity, so you can catch it there. I'll also email out a recorded copy of this tomorrow to everybody that joined us here on Crowdcast. Thank you, guys. Please tune in a couple weeks for the next version of Todoist Office Hours. We've got a sort of a surprise version coming up around the board's launch. So more to come. Stay tuned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Peter.
Bye.